those privileges are not really inflated. I got aware of them and I use them and I can't avoid them. And I walk around with them since I became an adult, or even before, in social context. And but I never really, like as I said, from my very foundation, from my very beginning, from my family, I don't think I was caring much in a way that I thought of them as privileges in that sense, or that I was ideologically agreeing to the fact that I have advantages over women as being a man. So later on, as I grew up in this society, as I said, I don't think about it all the time. So I use these privileges, and then I realize that, and it makes me not feel good, obviously, because I could see that these girls walk late at night, quite worried. They feel like guilty already. They're not supposed to walk around, while I stay after midnight with my friends, hanging around in streets and just being ourselves. It's a small example, but that was one of the first, like, I mean, it was a bit absurd for me. But today, to renounce to privilege doesn't feel scary. I think I feel like, or painful. I think, I mean, it shouldn't be a privilege. Like, this notion of privilege is all like totally debunked. I mean, if we speak about, if you're scared to lose privileges, if we define what privilege is, that you have something that other people don't have, I think you should earn those privileges, not inherit them. I mean, if you're privileged with a skill that you develop, and then that's a privilege that I would love to call a privilege, and I won't mind walking around with it. But a privilege that is acquired by birth or acquired by social norms, I don't think it qualifies as a privilege. It's almost like a, I mean, it's really like, I don't think how people really can think about it as, and use it in that sense, because it's a bit embarrassing to just feel like having a privilege that you didn't acquire yourself, that you didn't earn yourself. Evolution of societies happen on different scales, and the advantage that the West got in that sense, accepting other rights and all the democratic practice and all the revolutions and evolutions that happen, I am very much aware that it's a scale of time and dynamics of power, and colonialism has been playing a huge role in this. In the case of Sweden, maybe it doesn't have much a huge colonial history, or barely any colonial history at all. But I would tell you that Sweden was even more patriarchal than Tunisia in the 18th century, literally. So all these back and forths and plaque tectonics, where history and civilization writes itself, and the way all these interact, it's a bit tricky. Now, of course, the gap is huge between upper Mediterranean and lower Mediterranean Sea, but Sweden is still digging its way. Sweden still does not have equality in payment. Of course, the nation branding, it always markets itself as the most feministic thing on earth, or the most equal country on earth, but women are less paid than men in Sweden. In Tunisia, it's a different story. Women are totally on the wrong side of the balance, and they're struggling with an endless list of things. But it's not as openly unbalanced in terms of payment, at least as long as I can remember. But when you walk out of your door and you walk the streets, of course there is a huge difference. But as I said, Sweden was just like Tunisia now, 2 centuries ago, or 1.5 centuries ago. All these notions of conservatism, and it has nothing, of course, to do with religion as much as it is a tradition, has been very much the same. Honor killings and honor crimes were like a daily bread here in Sweden back in the days. Women couldn't vote and all that. I think it's as I said, it's a curve, and it intersects and it goes ups and down. Poland now is going all the way backward, for example. Algeria is another story. It's right the next country, and we are historically the same country, but it's a different legislation, different realities, different society, and different dynamics. So I think it would be great if we stop putting countries in the same bag as in Africa or Scandinavia.